What's the date? You can tell I'm really rushed today. This is a really impromptu video because I want to get material out to you guys. There's so much going on. Anyhow, there was a quote that I heard about a few days ago that says this: "Oh Lord, please protect me from your followers because they are shitheads and I got a lot of work to do." Tell me, if you guys could tell me where that came from. And I just picked it up about a week ago. Then there's some bonus points in it. And on to more interesting topics, because I got, like I was saying, a lot of stuff to go through. You guys know there's a ton of stuff going on in the world. I'm doing my prep work. That's why I haven't done any private videos. The posts have been a little lacking lately. But what I'm basically doing, I said a couple videos ago, I'm getting all of my cars fixed. If they need brakes, I'm putting brakes on. If they need tires, I'm putting tires on. If they need rear view mirror fixed, whatever, getting those fixed. My pad, I'm getting little odds and ends. If a pipe needs repair, if a sprinkler needs fixing, I'm doing that. If there's a roof repair that needs to be done, doing that. If there's a little bit of paint on the fascia of the trim, I'm doing that. I'm getting everything basically so I don't have to do anything for the next 2 or 3 years. That's what I'm planning on. That's my personal choice. I'm not saying that the world's going to be in chaos for 2 or 3 years. I'm just saying that that's what I'm choosing to do, okay? Because the main thing is I just don't want to deal with it for the next 2 or 3 years. I've got other things that I want to put my attention into. Also, what I'm doing is I'm building a greenhouse. I got like an 8x8 greenhouse that I'm building. I got all the floor is in, the foundation is in, trim, stem wall around it. The skeleton is up, the framework is up, and I just need to sheet it now, which is the easiest part. All the hard work is done. That's done. And that's basically in a consortium, sort of what I'm doing. Those are the two main things that I'm concentrating on right now. Okay, let me get to current events, because there's a lot of current events that I want to get to, and it's just going to be a type thing, because there's so much going on these days, I can't keep up with it. So let me go. Okay, I guess in Germany there was a nuclear power plant that got sabotaged. Oh, and also I'm going to put all the links below so you guys can check all the detailed information. Germany, there was a nuclear power plant that got sabotaged, a computer hacking incident. That's because the Eurozone behind the scenes is actively talking about breaking up and going to independent currencies. Germany is probably one of the countries that's leading it the most. Germany, Austria, Finland, countries like that are leading the charge, or the Nordic countries, let's say, and the southern countries, Spain, Portugal, Italy. I mean, they're gone. They're not leading anything. So that's why there was a German assault by the Illuminati, by the Bush faction, by the leftover Nazis, the neocons, against that breakup, because they're really actively talking about it now. Okay, that's that. Let's go to let's talk about Prince here for a minute. Real short, Illuminati sacrifice. It's just like the Eagles lead singer. It's just like David Bowie. It's just like Lemmy from Motorhead. It's just like Nat King Cole's daughter. It's just like Robin Williams. It's the same thing. They're sacrificing their celebrities, because when a celebrity passes, there's a lot of negative energy that's released from the fans, and that's what they're feeding on. That's what they're hoping for. That's the intent of the sacrifice, is to let that negative energy come out, because it fuels the demonic realms, it fuels the jinn, it fuels the esoteric negativity, okay? The problem is this, the issue is this, and this is one of the reasons why they keep killing more and more celebrities, or the frequency of it is becoming more compact, is because they're not getting the release of energy anymore that they used to get. You know, Prince dies, and people, you know, today are like, yeah, who cares? Who cares? I don't care about Prince. I don't give a damn about him, and I'm living my own life. I'm aloof. I'm aloof to the fact of his complications or whatever's going on. Who cares? Who cares? People are very self-absorbed these days, and that's working to the negative of the Illuminati. and this is also where it's spilling into. Ted Cruz, presidential candidate, he had a rally, I believe, in Philadelphia, and only 22 people showed up. There was only 22 people that showed up, and he started screaming and yelling at the crowd. People are disengaged from the political, media, sensationalistic ideals, okay? And the reason why a lot of the Donald Trump, Bernie Sanders banter is going back and forth is not because they're trying to save you. It's because if they didn't do that, everyone would be completely disoriented, completely disinterested, and they wouldn't pay attention to what they're saying. Nobody would show up to the rallies, like the Ted Cruz rally. Well, the politicians know that if nobody shows up to the rallies, you can't sell that psyop to the public. It's over. And that's what's happening. I'm going to get into that fact a little bit more, but I wanted to touch on it real quick and just go through everything that's happening. Okay, as you guys know, there's the quickening, the cadence, the speed of everything is going very quickly right now. There was a ship, there was a scout ship. I'm just kicking it in my side yard, okay? And I wasn't even really paying attention. And there's a scout ship that just cruises by, like, very close, within a few hundred yards. I mean, it was right there, and not zipping by. I mean, they can move very quickly, but they can also move very slow if they have to. And it just was sort of cruising slowly, like the blimp, sort of. That speed level, a little bit faster than that. And so I was like, oh, okay. I mean, and I'm this, I don't get shocked when these things happen. So I just sat out there and just waved to them. The indication is telling me that we're getting very close to some really big stuff happening. That's the key indicator for me. And it's funny, they don't even really have to say anything that much because I just get it. I'm like, oh, okay, if the ship is close to me, okay, then things are close. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, I could just reach out and touch it. It was a brilliant silver metallic that glistened, and you could see how the movement of it was moving. It was like an orb, and it twisted because the silver would fade in and glisten more depending on how it was turning. So that's the message that I'm getting, and that's why I said to you guys on the last post, get ready. Impact is coming. Implosion is coming. Rapid change is coming. It's here. This is what we've been waiting for. Okay, what else was I going to say here? Oh, another thing. Someone reminded me. They're like, hey, did you notice that last Illuminati encounter that you had when you ran into these people and they were sort of mean to you, that was like 2 weeks before the Panama Papers release? Do you realize that? And I said, oh, I didn't even realize that. And I said, oh, that's probably why they were so fearful. That's probably why they were so hesitant. That's probably why they were so nervous. I mean, they were shooken up badly. I mean, I'm not saying that's the only factor, but I think that that's very non-coincidental. And possibly, I'm sure of it, linked. So that's another little thing I want to throw in there. Also, there was an explosion of a Mexican power plant or a gas terminal. Again, I'll put the links below. Again, Illuminati, rogue factions, mercs, Nazi, neocon, drug runner factions. That's who's handling it, and this is the reason why. For those that don't know, the American Silver Eagle program had traditionally used to come from only United States American silver production. That has changed. There's so much demand for it that they have to outsource and they have to go to Mexico. So Mexico has been sourcing the silver to the American Silver Eagle program. Okay. Well, Mexico turned around and said, look, we know that this stuff is going to go through the roof. Okay. We know that it's going to be remonetized, and we don't want to sell it to you anymore, America. So 24 hours later, 48 hours later, boom, you got a mushroom cloud in a Pemex gasoline depot location in Mexico. That's what that was for. And everybody everybody that I talk to right now, nobody is talking about the past system anymore. Everybody's talking about the new system, the new way of doing things. The dollar is not going to be as influential. Other commodities are going to be more influential. So everybody knows about this stuff. And Mexico is not outside of that. And I think Mexico is like the #1 silver producer in the world, #1 or #2, something like that. So they've got a lot of it in the ground, and they don't want to give it up for $20 because they know it's worth more like 200. Why would you want to do that? Plus, it's going to allow them to monetize or back the peso, and that's what it's all about, because that's the trend. China and Russia are already talking about gold-backed currencies, and Mexico's talking about it behind the scenes as well, and they're all talking about it. Germany's talking about it too, as I mentioned before with the independent currencies. Okay, last little topic here. China, massive explosion in some Xinjiang province or something like that. Another explosion, again, Illuminati. This was 3 days after the commencement of the Shanghai Metal Exchange live cash settlement at the end of the day. Okay, that was retaliation for that. Again, same narco faction, Bush, Mercs. And remember I said when the first blast happened in Tianjin, I said, guys, this is going to be a trend. The Illuminati, dark magic, black magic factions are using this Jin because Jin refers to the demonic, esoteric, behind the scenes, fallen angels realm. Okay, so they're going to use that, and if they light off a bomb in a province that has Jin in the name, they think it makes their demons stronger. They think it allows them, gives them more negative energy. And here we go again, 3 days after. Oh, and by the way, I said after the first Tianjin blast, when that huge nuclear explosion went up, and I said, no, this is just the start of it. There were 2 or 3 more explosions that happened in a province in China, or a town in China that had Jin in the name. Okay, well, this explosion, guess what's in the name again? Jin. Same thing. I mean, I predicted it. I called it. I told you guys about this. And here we go. We see the same exponent. We see the same superlative. We see the same formula. We see the same theory. We see the same theorem. We see the same postulate. Okay. And that is what it is. It's retaliation. And using Jin to theoretically bring in more demonic energy or please their demons more. But it's not working anymore. Every time they go to produce negative energy, it fades. It just because the world energetically is moving to another platform where they are ignoring what they used to pay attention to. And that's disserving the Illuminati overlords, because they're not able to generate that negative energy. I said a long time ago that I either heard from somebody or I read something. This was years ago, and I got this infusion of a sentence, and it goes like this. You know, someday there's going to be a war, and they're going to declare a war, and nobody is going to show up. So therefore, how valid is the war? So you can't have, without the human participation to support the Illuminati, they're nothing. They get all their energy from us. If Rockefeller or Rothschild or Vanderbilt or Trump or whomever you want to say, Carnegie, doesn't have the minions to carry out their agenda, and they don't have their worker bees, and they don't have their slaves to do the work, then they're nothing. They're nothing. And that's what's happening right now, is that the masses are they're just not paying attention. The masses are not showing up to the war. And that's what is happening. So they are, it's the changing of the guard. It's the changing, just like I said, just like I've been saying. You know, I didn't say anything about the crash at all for 4 or 5 years when I was doing videos. Okay, now all of a sudden the last couple months, I'm saying, no guys, get ready for it. No guys, get ready for it. Do what you think you might need to do. And for years and years and years, I said, oh, that crash stuff. Yeah, where's the implosion? Oh, where's the breakdown? I told you guys. I told you. Times have changed now. And I'm staying up with the times, being in that, correct bracket. And that's where I want to be. I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be well known. I don't want to be gawked at. I just want to be correct. I just want to be right. So that's the motivation. That's the MO, so to speak. And that's the end of the video. I'll put the links below. If you guys got a question, comment, whatever. I hope I got through everything, and I hope I gave you guys a lot to chew on and a lot of good intel. Okay, what are we at? 4:28 today? Ooh, no beers, no coffee. Just solid food. Good nutrition. Later.